I'm going to do here is I'm going to take everyone through the process the next 30 days, finding the deal, putting it under contract, putting together either an investor proposal, getting the bids together, closing on the deal, and then we'll go forward from there and maybe even doing the construction part of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to spend enough time to share the information with everyone here, and kind of how I'm going through and how I've successfully found some properties this last year. And what I'm going to use is MLS Access. If you don't have MLS Access, I really recommend getting a license for that reason alone. Is they have access to the MLS, or finding somebody who can give you access, or finding a great realtor that you can trust. But the way we work is generally we'll call the realtors who have the listings. We'll let them represent us on the buy and the sell. That way I'm able to focus my time on putting the deals together and running the operations, and I'm not as involved with the things that go with listing properties, because that's what they're best at. And my best time is going out and finding properties. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to get on the phone today, and really our business is all about talking to people, or at least the way we've been buying things. We've typically been buying things through the MLS. There's a lot of other ways and opportunities to buy real estate. For example, some people are buying notes, some people are buying hotels, but that's not our niche. My niche has always been apartment buildings and residential homes. Right now the opportunities seem to be more in the homes than the apartments. So right now that's what we've been chasing. We're very entrepreneurial. What we try to do is try to find something that we know something about, that we can take advantage of the inefficiencies in the market or opportunities. What I believe is when you know something very well, you can do it really good, and you can spot opportunities to other people who don't know that as well as you do. So I think it's important to try to become an expert at something. This happens over time. I make mistakes, but I try to learn from them. So we're going to take you through the process, and 99% of the time they're not just listed at the price that's going to work, or there's something about these deals. It's not like they have, typically we've been buying things at 50 to 65% of their value, and it's not that there's a sign on the door that says this property is for sale for $200,000, but it is worth $350. Typically what it is, from us understanding the market or that particular niche, is we know what we can do, what our construction is going to cost, and how much I can sell it for, and maybe what I can do to add value to that property. Typically the properties we buy need work. There's a reason why they're not selling, so that's where the opportunities come with us. What's going to happen is we're going to call all these pending. We're going to get our name out there. We're going to make sure they know who we are. Every time I do this, usually with every 5 to 10 contacts I make, I get some kind of lead, whether a property I'm calling about that may be shaky, or that they have another deal that's coming up someplace else. Okay, so that will kind of lead us to different areas. Right, I'll pick an area that we're going to start with, and we're also going to call these people, and we're going to come up with leads, and hopefully we can put some offers in. I'm also going to start by following up with agents that I spoke with in the past that maybe haven't sent me opportunities, to see what they have. These should generate a lot of activity. It doesn't take a long time to generate activity. Then the next key is, once you get these leads, it's important to be able to shortlist a deal real quick. So if you're a realtor, I'm going to talk to you as your realtor right now, and you're calling me on a deal. How I operate is I'm going to know pretty quick. I'm going to ask you what you think the value is. I'm going to make my own independent assessment of that value. But if you know the area, I'm going to get your input. If you don't know the area, that's fine. Just let me know. But if you know the area, I'm going to ask you, what do you think we can sell it for? I'm not going to ask you construction costs. I may ask you what kind of things need to be done, but I'll make that assessment. I'll make that assessment myself. But you're going to tell us about the deal. I'm going to do a quick, back of the napkin calculator assessment of what I think the property is going to sell for. I'm going to put a generic construction cost in there based on what you told me the condition of the property, and I'm going to decide if I want to drive that property or not. If it doesn't make sense, I'm going to tell you right away, and I'm not going to drive the property, but I'm going to let you know that it doesn't work for me and why. And this is going to help you in the future to find me deals. If it seems to work, or if it's in that range, I'm going to go ahead and get in my car right away, and I'll have an offer to you, or tell you no within 24 hours. So I'm going to be able to act very quickly on the offer if it works. The likelihood that this deal is going to work is small, but we have a pretty high success rate of offers, of once we find a deal and making an offer to closing those deals. So we're going to go and we're going to look at the property if it fits what we're looking for. What's going to happen is all of these activities lead to other activities. Okay, so when I go look at this other property, I'm going to go ahead and comp out this area. I'm going to call other agents who have deals in the area, and again, this process starts over and over again. With the key is people starting to know that you're a buyer, that you're somebody they can work with, that they can trust you to send deals, and most important is that you can close. I believe. Am I going to be? I try not to be difficult. I try to make it as easy as possible for the realtor. I believe my job is to once I find the opportunities, is to pretty much do everything else. I'm not doing the transaction coordination or anything else, but if you bring me the deal, if you're a realtor and you bring me the deal, I'm going to try to do all my homework myself and make it as easy as possible for you, and I'm going to close the deal, and you're going to get a check at the end of the deal, and the next thing you know, 2 weeks from that point, when we're almost done with construction, I'm going to call you and say, hey, let's meet, and let's talk about selling the property and see what we can get for it. And then we're going to go into the marketing phase of that property. So that's what I do. So